The Menu is a horror thriller, a satire, dark comedy film that I've really been hyped for because of the cast. But also personally, I've worked in a restaurant for as a dishwasher for like 2 different restaurants for 4 years total, so 2 years each. So like I had, I have some perspective in working in a kitchen, so that kind of makes the movie a bit more special to me. Anyways, this one's about a couple. There's Tyler and his girlfriend Margot, and they are going on a ferry in order to go to a prestigious restaurant called Hawthorne on Hawthorne Island, where it's a restaurant run by the enigmatic chef Julian Slawik. And this man is all about perfection. He has that cold, calculating stare, big reputation, and Tyler's hyped because it's not about the price of the tickets. Costs about $12.50 per head, but also they only have like 5 tables there, so it depends on who you are in reputation in order to get a table. So Tyler and his girlfriend, they go. She's not really into food, but he is hyped about it. And they meet the rest of the people there. There's a rich couple, a food critic and her editor, a washed-up actor and his assistant, and some tech bros, and they're given a tour of the island, and basically all the stuff is grown on the island. So they make their own honey, they slaughter their own animals and get their own eggs and fruit and well, I don't know about fruit, but they do vegetables, and they're basically shown into the menu. So first off, the movie is like perfectly paced. I mean, literally the first scene of the movie is them waiting for the ferry, and then you quickly go to the island and you learn about the island and the restaurant and the history of it. And they're bringing this movie's like a satire of the restaurant industry, critics and stuff like that. So there's also this dark, brooding atmosphere that something isn't quite right. As soon as the food starts to come out, you get little snippets of dialogue from all the different characters and what type of people they are. Some of the people know each other, but then it becomes more ominous, and the movie quickly becomes dark about maybe halfway through. We find out that the chef has something sinister planned for his guests. And the trailer does show that this is a horror thriller. It's not, it is a dark comedy, but it's also a horror thriller, and then we find out, what the chef has in planned for the guests. So this movie, as I said, is perfectly paced, but also has really good acting. Ralph Fiennes is really great. He has this sort of bubbling under the surface tension as the intense chef who runs his kitchen with military precision. He claps his hands, and all of the chefs, they all stop, and then they begin again when he announces how many minutes they have to plate the next thing, and they're all working with tweezers and stuff. It's almost like a weird, body. It's a cultish sort of style they use. The cinematography is great, set design. Also, Anya Taylor-Joy is great. She plays like the sort of doe-eyed sort of outsider because she's not a foodie, and she's sort of the vessel that we jump into the world of this elegant, pretentious cuisine, where everything is maybe it's only about this big, but you pay lots of money for it, for the experience and the food. The movie has a lot of thematic material going on, but it's also like never boring. Some of the humor is razor sharp. It's dark humor, some great laughs. I found myself laughing more at this movie than some comedies, to be honest. It really like nailed some stuff on the head, and by the end it'll take your breath away. And I really enjoyed the movie. Honestly, it has so many shots of like chefs like working and meticulously plating stuff, but the script is also meticulously placed as well, and there's some character development for everyone, especially the chef, but like everything just sort of is executed perfectly, just like the way that a dish is executed perfectly. And I really like that subtext and the amount of detail put in. So I don't give this score out rarely, but I give The Menu a perfect 10.